Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, and I hope everything's working. Sorry for being a few minutes late. I woke up rather late, and I was very, very busy yesterday. I really didn't stop moving all day. Everything's falling out. So, yeah, yesterday was a lot. But let's get everything opened and moved around, and let's get the chat moving here. So we can have that going. Yesterday was a lot, guys. I'm not even gonna. And chat is live. Oh, there's my juice. All right. But I am in the process of making all these wallets. The answer to yesterday's quiz, the thing on Facebook, was I'm making a new hair Beretta, but I am trying to completely scratch design it instead of using a basis for design. And it's just not working out so well, you know? But it is a hair Beretta for the Slytherin house crest. Just because with everyone I know, I think Slytherin is kind of the favorite house, the favorite Hogwarts house in this area, at least commercially. Which, you know, that's fair, that's fine, okay, cool. But I'm having issues with trying to get that imported from AutoCAD into Lightburn to where it'll be a good and usable thing. And I don't know why. Alright, so I got that horrible burn on my hand a couple weeks ago when I got tagged with a set of tongs. It's healing up nicely. But around the periphery, I guess I didn't burn off all of the hair follicles. And I'm getting some ingrowns. Not fun. Actually, there we go. Sometimes showing something sharp in you is nice. Good morning, Alan. How are we doing today, brother? Much better. So, I got these guys ready for paint. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And you're on your way to the flea market. Ooh, fancy. I do have a few office chores I need to do before we really get cracking. And the first one, yeah, and good morning, Ken, is actually cleaning this little doohickey right here. Now this actually fits onto the fits onto the laser itself, and goes through, but you probably won't be able to see it. But there's a little schmutz there that got burned onto it. So I got to clean this really good, and then put it away. I'm going to clean it with alcohol. Just some, whatever this is, 91% ISO. Get that cleaned. It really is just as difficult as you'd expect. Scrub, scrub, scrub a dub. Because the laser has two of these guys here. And hopefully, by swapping these out on a regular basis and cleaning them regularly, should extend the working life of the laser. Once. Let's go for round two, shall we? Yes. So I got all this stuff going on here. Got 42 wallets to do. I'm thinking about doing like a Loki wallet next, and a Legend of Zelda wallet, because I did some test swatches. And this green, I mean, look at that green. That is a beautiful, like, emerald green. And I need to find someone who will, who would match perfectly with this nice royal blue. These colors are just fantastic. I really do love Thieving's Pro dyes. They're just the best. I definitely need to do that a second time. Sounds like little man's getting ready to break through the floor up there. So I actually like this laser much better than my atom stack lasers. It just seems to perform just a little bit better. And I like the fact that it came with stuff to clean and maintain it. Much better. Much, much better. So I'll probably be swapping this out later today, is what I'm getting at. this put away so I don't accidentally smash it and roll it over. I was snoring something awful last night. And goodness gracious, my throat is killing me. Ken, I signed up to do my first craft show. Won't be until June, though. Dude, that is fantastic. Ken, you sent me a couple pictures. Ooh. Ooh, I like that tray. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness. So here's the tray, guys. Focuses. The lid on that, it turned out, I mean, the rest of it, it's a tray, but the lid on that, I love that. That is a nice little filigree work tray there, Ken. And I like how you have like a little bit of the black sparkle in there. That turned out very nice. Oh, whose birthday is it today? Darren and Jet. Happy birthday to you both. Let's see here. What a day, what a day, what a day. I bought the mold for dominoes, but the chess and checkers nicely too. Yeah, those little trays like that are very, very valuable. Just by nature of them being themselves. You know, just intrinsically having little trays like that, especially for games. You could even just sell those as dice boxes would be a good way to market that to the D&D crowd. If you did them all black or all solid colors, so they're not translucent at all. Black, red, pink, green, brown, and then a different color lid, obviously. I'm thinking, you know, something either complementary or a ore color, like you know, like a silver color or a gold color, maybe a bronze type color, just to make it look like it's something. But dice trays or dice boxes, you could sell 1 billion of those. And your first craft show, that's exciting. That is really awesome. I almost never sell at craft fairs and craft shows, even when I do go to them. But I always get a butt ton of sales following craft shows. So I always count them as basically as free advertising. And it seems to do pretty well that way. So let me get these dyed so I can get the ball rolling on that. And I'm not sure how to always get rid of all these little pibs. because it seems like no matter what I do, and of course the piece I pick up has none in them. Yeah, there's a few back here. But it seems like there's always, there's a few in here. It's kind of hard to see. But it'd be nice if when I lifted the thing up, like when I do with all the wood that I cut on the laser, that everything just falls out. Most of them fall out, so it's not that big a deal. So otherwise, I got to go to the back, to the flesh side, and like give it a little scrape, and they end up falling out. But then it feels weird on my nail, you know? And so far, I found that is the quickest way of getting rid of them. And I have to get rid of them because they turn stitching something up like this from a relative joy. I'm not going to say it's a complete walk in the park, but a relative joy into a bloody nightmare, you know? It is always satisfying when I do the edge beveling and the whole thing comes off in one long continuous string. That is just, it makes me happy. That side, let's do this side and we'll get all these bloody little pibs out. I don't know what to actually call them, so I'm calling them pibs. But it's all the little holes for the stitch lines. And at first, I was very, very hesitant to even use that, and I was going to turn them off and just get rid of them altogether. But I am starting to come around to the utility of it, because on most things, I like doing the nice hard chiseled look, so I get those nice diamond stitches laid in there. But I think except for the high end or one-off pieces, I'm probably going to be doing the round holes. Unless I get a clicker die. If I get a clicker die, then all bets are off. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have everything diamond stitched. Okay, got that. Got that. Now, I was told for the Venom ones that I should do the insides red and then do the outsides black, because on the Spider-Man wallets I did the insides red. What do you think? I think these are the only two wallets I'm going to do that for, unless there's a specialty, because it does take a lot of time. It does soak up a lot of dye. We have one Venom wallet here. We're going to try it and see what happens. 929. So where's your first craft show at, Ken? Is it somewhere relatively local? Is it... set this off to dry. I'm actually going to have to re-wet this whole thing so I can tool it. I ran out of time yesterday, and I like tooling these straight off the laser because everything is already cased, and I don't like having to redo work essentially. But it is what it is. So I'm going to let this sit off to the side. We're going to start painting these guys. I did 2 coats of Resin on them, so they should do pretty good with taking the paint. Ken, Twisted Eagle Motorcycle Club, one in Larksville Fire Department, June 22nd. Awesome. I have so much going on that I think I am full, at least for the next few weeks, on craft fairs and all this other stuff. Few months. I'm going to start looking midsummer for those things. because let's see. No, I don't want the calculator. I want this. I have one in July. I thought I had. I have another one. I need to get it on. I need to get this on the calendar. I have another one coming up. Oh boy. May 4th, I have another one in Wilkes-Barre in the Kiss Theater. I can actually show you this. There we go. I do need to post this on Facebook and such, but I'm going to be selling there, and that's a public event, May 4th. 11 to 6, the Kiss Theater, 400 East End Center, Wilkes-Barre, PA. Raffle prizes, concessions, music, you know the deal. And there's an admission fee of $5 on this one. And the other one is a private event that I'm not able to talk about, but that is a camping event, and I am excited about that, because apparently it's the cover charge is pretty expensive to get in, and that's all the special spicy things that Knightsmith makes, like friendship bracelets and thwacky things. But it's a 2-day or 2-day 3-night event, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Basically, being a vendor gets me into that one for free, so I really hope I make money, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. However, if I don't make money, I can't justify going back. Like vampire boards. Yes. Now, give me 1 moment, while I go and get some water, because thing's right over there. I have been dry brushing these. I want to try using a wet brush, and see how that affects things. So, un momento, por favor. That, and let me get a napkin. Oh, I only got one left. You grab some more now, don't I? Yes. Where's my paintbrushes? There they are. And I do have a die specifically I do have a brush specifically for my paintbrushes, because on the inside of the wallet, I actually have these like sayings and stuff, like speech bubbles, because these are all comic book characters that I'm doing, at least for the most part. And I like to have that as the flesh tone. So I use a paintbrush to paint the die in close to that, and then I kind of pull it away, and then come back with the dauber and finish the rest of the thing. That just gives me a very nice crisp, because since everything is also tooled, you also have a drop in the elevation, so it's cut and then one side is pushed down. So I can get the die right up to the edge, and it gives a very nice crisp finish, and I really do enjoy it. Actually, I have a mistake. Here's one I cut that was just too small. But you can see on these guys how I have the speech bubbles. And this is actually the trial for Little Man's, and it turned out just too small. Bit of a waste, but I was able to try some different tooling techniques to see, what would look the best. Smooth versus the textured backgrounder, or the textured beveler. How to get into those really tight spaces. Should I just be using the spoon to quickly? So I ended up using the textured beveler just because I think that gives the nicest finish, and it gives, with minimal work, it gives the best tooling result with the least amount of work. Which the idea on these is they are a decently quick turnaround. Let me just pop this in the glazer for a minute. And just get a little bit of the less favorable stuff off the ends. Set. So I think I let a little too much acrylic build up on these guys. And this deglazer stuff is, can I do woodwork on my laser? Yes, I can, and I do. I have done a bunch of earrings and stuff, the dice towers and lanterns and stuff I cut out on the laser. Here's one I need to finish. You can see I can get super great detail with that. This is 1/8 inch. And I've used it a couple times to lay stuff out. Like I did this one paddle for a client, and they wanted, a specific paddle shape with lips dead center of the paddle itself, and then I forget what they wanted. They wanted they wanted something engraved, some words engraved on it that were also then resin filled. So what I did is I did the full design in light burn, and I got an oversized piece of wood. So then I put that into the laser, and I used it to outline the whole thing, outline the lips, and then engrave the letters. And then I was able to come back and scratch out the letters, because Usually when it does the engraving, it leaves like a bunch of little fine, like vertical lines. So I come back with a light wire brush and just brush those out, blow it out. I did the laser fill, or I did the epoxy inlay. And then since everything was all done on the laser, the layout, all I had to do was cut to the lines. And it made so easy. It really went fantastically. So yes, I can do woodwork on the laser. Typically, if I want to cut, I cannot go thicker than 1/4 inch. But most things woodworking are 3/4 or thicker. So I use the laser primarily for lighter engraving, cutting out thinner leathers on patterns that I design. I can go decently thick. I can go like 6 ounce on leather for a cut, but it takes many passes. I can do some, I can engrave stuff. I did a cutting board that had a nice resin inlay. It was teak, and it was, I should be able to find it here. Here. Focus. Anyways, it was this huge, super intricate elephant, and I engraved the whole thing into a teak cutting board, did a laser fill on that, and then I went back and added feet to the cutting board and handles. And first off, it was a bear to engrave just because teak is much more dense than a lot of the stuff I do. So it took many passes, but the end result was just beautiful. Much softer now. Oh yeah, those are butter soft now. All right. So yes, I can do woodwork on the laser, but it likes it when it's when what I'm doing is 1/8 of an inch or thinner. I've engraved and cut paper on my laser, like printer paper, cardboard, cardstock. That's how I do all my business cards. Is I'll throw a sheet in, and I'll engrave the whole thing, and then I'll come back and cut it, and then I make a template, and I 5 or 6, 8 of them at a time, and I'll place them in there, and then I'll go back and engrave the back sides. And it seems to work pretty well. It's not. I should probably have had the chat scroll on. And these things happen. But yeah, I can do woodwork on the laser. It works surprisingly well. There are very few things I can't do, and with this laser, cutting metal is one of them. That's kind of the limit. To do metal work on a laser, you need a fiber laser. And I can't remember if it's a diode or CO2, but it's one of those, which happen to be a lot cheaper. Like, this whole setup was like, the whole, buying the laser initially was like $300. Whereas if I were to do a fiber laser, it'd be like $1,200. It's $1,000 to $1,200. So significant price jump. The big difference between the other difference between fiber lasers and diode lasers is you do not want to cut anything with your fiber laser unless it is a large dedicated machine that is set up to handle that kind of an operation. Whereas with the diode and CO2 lasers, things are much more flexible in your operation, in your setup. It seems like the diode and CO2 lasers create a lot more smoke, which is the primary reason why I built this whole monstrosity, behind me. Especially not so much when I'm cutting wood, but when I'm doing a lot of engraving on leather specifically. That is a noxious smell. And you do not want that floating around your house. And I think with how much I work with with this laser, I'm actually thinking about possibly doing a little human pyography with it. Because yes, it will take care of your skin too. However, that is something you only get one shot at, so I want to be very sure of a whole number of things. I'm still exhausted from yesterday. I had to end up, I was helping a friend go pick up a wardrobe. And it's one of those things where it's like, now, I love this lady to death, but she gets some very interesting ideas. and this wardrobe was one of them. It was it was 7 foot tall, 20 inches deep, so a little extra deep, plus it had molding on it, and it was about 4 feet wide. And this thing was just an absolute monster. And the way her house is laid out, both in the door configurations, the layout between getting it, even just into the house itself, how her house is laid out with the porch and the stairs, and the first off, her stairs on her porch are shot. I'm surprised. I am very surprised we didn't fall through carrying this bloody thing up, me and a buddy of mine. But that's neither here nor there. And then getting it in, and then just getting it to the staircase, which is just adjacent to the door. But the way the banister comes down and everything else, and how far away the stair is away from the landing and the wall, it was just horrible. And then even the landing at the top of the staircase, like I had to go into a closet and push things, and basically ended up what should have been a 45-minute helping a friend turned into a 3-hour fiasco, where I ended up basically doing military or swimmer pressed this whole frickin' thing up this whole set of stairs. Now my buddy was on the top, and he was doing his best to help and pull, but good God. Whew. So between that and all the other running around and everything else I had to do yesterday, if I didn't get back to you if people called me or texted me or something, I didn't get back to you, I apologize. But I was running around all day like a chicken with my head cut off, and there's really not much I could do about it. I just had to get through the day. And I'm sure we've all had days like that, right? See, the hardest thing with this is getting the initial coat down. Once you get the initial coat down, everything else kind of falls into place and looks, all subsequent coatings look really nice. The first one always looks kind of thin and crappy. And this is pretty much the hour. Because, as per usual, I'm also running late for something else. Oh, and I have very sad news. My neighbors upstairs. Lovely couple, they have a bunch of kids. Very nice people. Unfortunately, they're moving. And I got that news yesterday as I was running late to go do this wardrobe, so very sad news. Not only sad because they're moving, which is in and of itself sad, but they were good neighbors, you know. So I'm kind of scared about who might be coming next. But that's my hour, guys. So here's how far we got on this. Like I said, the first coat goes on really thin just to get it on there. But subsequent coats, you know, I usually do about 2 coats on these. Then seal it again, the whole thing. Just to really make sure that it stays. But that's my hour. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I need to run because, like I said, I'm running late for everything all the time. So I appreciate it, I appreciate you, and thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time, and I'll see you all next week.